Right, guys, welcome back to the channel. But better yet said, welcome to the fucking Matrix. What's happening today, boys and girls? Well, I was kind of hesitant to even do a video today. Considering all the ruckus in the past week and the killing of Charlie Cook. Yeah, it's just crazy, you know. Evil never takes a break, and it's really sad, you know, when people just don't have the freedom to speak at a rally without having to worry about getting, you know, gunned down. It's pretty sad. Or riding on the subway and getting stabbed. You know, the world is a very hostile place, and sometimes it makes me very, very sad, you know. So in the morning after I make coffee, I'll sit here and I will pray for the world. And I would say, if you guys are part of my audience, you know, if you're a believer, it would be nice. Even if you're not a believer, just send out good vibes, healing for the world, pray for the world and its hostilities. It's not going away. And while some of us get lost in consumerism, it gets kind of like, when do we say it's enough? But like Vice Grip Garage, let's just pretend we didn't hear any of that today. You know, let's just get back to the fucking matrix of bullshit, right? And here on the table is one of my guitars that I've been trying to, this action on this one, or not action, the playability of this one is a bit stiff. So I tried buying a wraparound bridge, and unfortunately, like from Amazon, it's hard to know who to trust. So the part came in and only one side fit, which is pretty lame. So I'm going to order another piece, but hopefully I can get this thing just to see if maybe a wraparound bridge will make the playability of this guitar, which sounds great, more playable to me. You know, I don't have a strong hand anymore with my carpal tunnel. It's a little bit on the weak side, so I always look for a softer action. One thing that's missing underneath here is one of my amplifiers that I got out of here finally. Yeah, and I found the old cover to my old keyboard, and now I can put it on here without having this kind of collect dust, which I'm sure it will. But on those nights when I got nothing better else to do, I'll come out here and just kind of fiddle around, you know. But let's get over here to the music station, guys, and let me tell you what's been going on. So let me just lower this music for a bit here. We'll be jamming to this backing track. So I have my Black Star Silverline up here, finally. And where this is sitting, of course, was my Roland JC40. Now, I got to playing it, and I just got to thinking a few days ago, I'm just like, why did I buy that amp? I just kind of struggled with it. Not this amp. This amp, I actually like this amp. This Silverline is pretty good. It's a stereo. It's got really good reverbs and delays, and it's loud. I mean, it's really got high quality. If you've never heard these, I think you would like them. If you ever see them in the store, the Silverline, it's got some cool shit on here, man. I mean, it's got a lot of nice things, and here's your you know, thing that it will mimic the EL34s, 6v6, blah blah blah, and it's programmable. And then here are your voicing, super crunch, clean, warm. This is a real nice amp. I've taken it out a couple times, played it live at some places. It's really nice. It's got Celestion greenbacks or something close to that effect. I don't really know. And so what I wanted to talk about was, okay, so look, I was in here playing with the Roland 40, and I just said, fuck, I don't know. So I went to Guitar Center, and I bought a Supro. I talked about it. I bought the Supro amp, that tube-driven amp. I brought it here, and I bought a couple pedals, like a delay. That one I might keep, and an overdrive. And I was sitting here with the Supro and the Roland, and I just got frustrated. I'm like, this is not the direction I thought I was going in. So I scrapped the whole thing and just said, fuck it. I'm done, you know. I think I've gotten to the point at my age at 62 where I'm just going to stick to what works. I guess a lot of these bozos on YouTube, you know, these older guys, I'm going to kind of follow their path as well, as just stick to work, or what is it? Just, you know, just stick to what makes things workable for me. And I'm going to stick to the things that work for me. Like that Yamaha THR-10X, it worked for me. Running some pedals through it works for me. And I don't really need much of anything else for a good sound. And if I want to get super ambient and crazy, well, I got all of these, you know, DSPs, which sound amazing also. And then, you know, the whatever guitars I feel like playing, including so many more, I'll have access to. So I think that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to invest in a couple more pedals for this setup here. I want to try and get an octavator, an octave something, and instead of having to use my DSP for that. So I'm going to try that because I really like that drop octave tone. I like to play around with it. But so with everything that I did with taking back the Roland amp and that Supro, what I ended up purchasing was this guitar, the Eart guitar, was at Guitar Center. So this was a purchase, and then with the Supro, I'm gonna keep this, and then with the Roland amp, I was able to buy this guitar, and this is, I don't really need to do a demo on this one. This is a pretty generic, you know, Fender HSS, but it was a nice guitar. It's the made in Sonata, you know, it's got the classic tuners. You know, I already adjusted everything, so there's no reason to do, it's like any other Strat, you know, a Strat is a Strat is a Strat, and, you know, pretty soon you get to the whole thing of, is there anything new you're ever really going to hear under the sun when it comes to pickups? And when you've had the best pickups you can play through, Seymour Duncan, DiMaggio's, sometimes you'll have a really nice Fender pickup, a Tim Shaw one or whatever, or a nice Firefly. I mean, so I think once you cover all the basic tones, you know, I think that one's got Seymour Duncan's. That's the Firefly over there. It's funny when you get your finger there, everything gets blurry. It's kind of stupid. Or my Charvels, you know. Anyway, I'm kind of drifting in my thought here. So what I really want to show you is, let me push pause, and then we'll get to looking at this Eart guitar. I have a few thoughts about the Eart guitar, and we'll be jamming to this. What is this YouTube channel? Kanita Music. I'll leave a link for it also. You know, I like this kind of music because it allows me to improvise and kind of be a little more creative. You know, at 62, we ain't got much to do except pretend that, yeah, you know, there was a time, maybe. All right, let's get back into it. So yeah, so this is the Eart. What's the official name? It just says, no, nothing on the back would indicate what model it was. All I can tell you is that when I was at Guitar Center, it actually sounded, let me see if I can get a little bit rid of this glare. My goodness. So you guys can see it a little better. You know, because so many things are just popping up. Especially the computer screen. Eart guitars, TL-380 solid body electric guitar, humbuckers, honeyburst, $429. I believe this is made in China, and it is okay. $4.29, guys, you know, on the import. And for an extra bucks, you can get the gig bag. So it's got roasted Canadian maple. It does have a compound radius. Compound is U to C shape. 22 medium jumbo stainless steel frets. Dual rod action. Pickups. Eart. Eart. Custom HBC humbucker set. 3-way. Coil split, not a coil tap. It's got the jelly bean tuners, as you can see. I hate these tuners, by the way. They're good, but it looks goofy, man. Excuse me. I've never liked the jelly bean tuners. They just, I don't know. I think this was from the factory, 10 to 46. However, I'm using a 9 gauge. And body finish, gloss, cream, pearl pink, pearl blue, blah blah blah, and honeyburst. So this is the honeyburst model, and that's all I'll say about that one. So you know, it's nice. I swapped out the bridge. This one here from Amazon is a full brass block, where the one from Eart, it's kind of one of those shaved off kind of black ones, kind of still of a big block, but it's been kind of shaved. Now when I was playing this at Guitar Center, I really didn't believe, that I just got to enjoying it. Come to find out that this is like almost the price of 2 Fireflies. I was like, fuck, what does this thing got going on? And to my surprise, I really liked it. You know, the playability is pretty similar. And I think what I really liked was the sound of these pickups. They're not like Firefly pickups. They're more compressed. I feel like there's more compression in the pickups, and they resonate a lot better. So I was a winner chicken dinner. It was pretty dirty, pretty gummed up, but you know, with everything set up, and I, you know, set everything up as I usually do, I got to just enjoying it. So, who would have figured that I would? Because I've never really owned this model, but at $4.29, you know, on their website, they're talking about, you know, quality this and quality that. Well, I do have to say, like, this guitar kind of surprised me. It does have sort of that shaved heel, like a lot of the imports are doing now. But this was a very clean guitar. I think it's got 1 or 2 pieces. It could be 2. Right down the middle. Probably 2. I don't want to say 3. I'm going to say 2. But it looks nice. It's got the armrest. I think this is why I was enjoying it. This right here, like the Firefly Telly, really feels good on the arm. And if you know anything about Telly style guitars with that hard edge, they get to be very uncomfortable. And I like the finish on this. It's really smooth. This is a good guitar, guys. If you haven't tried one and maybe you were thinking about it, I would say if there's a way you can try something like this, I think you will be surprised. It's maybe a little bit better than the Firefly as far as the pickups. I think the quality of the build is the same, but then we're getting down to these bad boys, and these bad boys sound really, really good. I think better, because I have, you know, a lot of Firefly guitars now with, you know, from the factory humbuckers, and these ones are really crispy and they resonate and they articulate really, really good. So maybe that's kind of their focus, because everything else is pretty much on par, you know, with everything else we see with the fucking import bullshit. So let me do this backing track thing. Let me get a little set up to kind of give you a we'll do a little jam, you know, but let me get set up here. I'm gonna throw the earbuds on and put one down there, and then one in my ear so you can hear the track a little better. That's kind of the way I've always done. This is a low-key channel, you know, and it's really, again, just I want to be able to record me at this time with this guitar and kind of see where I was with it. Because I'm sure there'll be a day, God willing, that I won't even be able to play guitar anymore. But for the time being, let's just try to get into it. Hold on. Okay, welcome back to the Matrix. I'm just gonna try, you know, play a little bit to this, kind of go with the flow. it's this guitar really sounds good. It's got new Diodario's strings on there, so and I'm trying to, of course, in my bends, as I mentioned before, a lot of times I try to just see if I can actually bend the string to break it, you know, if it's possible. But this thing's got good crunch. So, I just liked the way that it was handling and playing. Like, man, I'm still like, can easily become a #1 guitar just on a playability scale. Middle position sounds good. It's got a lot of scoop, very mellow, it's got that tunnely type sound in the neck. That's the neck, and then to the bridge. pickups just got something going on, man. They're like, you know, I played Seymour Duncan's and DiMaggio's, and there's a different texture there too, but for the most part, I want to say that these pickups and these Eart guitars, man, they're fucking wicked. They're like really, really, really nice. Something you wouldn't even think about wanting to change. Like, I think these are in competition right with those Seymour Duncans, or they got these things got some tone. Like, damn, what's up? And I would have never thought. Again, I was in Guitar Center, just out of the blue. I saw this turd sitting there, and I'm like, yeah, what are the chances? You know, Eart guitar, F Eart. That was my big thing. Like, F Eart, Leo James, Feasleys. You know, I'm okay with the Fireflies. Yeah, you know. And then I was like, well, what about these guys? 429. Definitely on the higher side, definitely above the 300 mark, closer to the $440 probably delivered for shipping. But yeah, and all I did was really, I didn't need to change the bridge. I did it because I would prefer to have a solid brass configuration, since it was already giving me this with their medium block, which wasn't the full thickness of a block. There was a lot of material missing. I mean, it definitely better than a Fender, but not as thick as a solid brass block. So, and I was sitting on this one for a while. The coil split, you know, they didn't really need to do this. This gets kind of wanky. As soon as you hit that coil split, you know, it's just they're going to sound better as a three-way without this coil split. The coil split isn't even worth showing you because it just gets kind of stupid from there. You know, I think the quality of the coil splitting just isn't there, and it isn't there for a lot of the higher name brands either. I just, you know, only so many manufacturers can do a really good coil split or coil tap. So I don't even, that's just an afterthought, I think, for them to, you know, it's a selling point. It's got coil split. It's got, you know, what import doesn't have coil split anymore? It's like they all try to throw it in, but they all sound like crap. So it's kind of a dead issue for me. But anyway, guys, that's all I got to share with you today. I think I'm just going to stick to what works for me. And maybe one more pedal is coming tomorrow. I'm going to try that in my chain here. That Digitech looper delay, I'm going to try and figure out how to do a looper with it. It may be coming or going. It's a different type of delay. I might do a video of this Black Star if I can kind of record it well enough. I don't really know, guys, but yeah, there's the Telly over there. Sweet guitar. I like it. It looks nice, man. Shit. And so yeah, I'm a little bummed today though, bro. Honestly, I'm just like, too much fucking shit is going wrong in the world. I mean, there's just, the world is so upside down, and I hate to get lost in consumerism, and I just think we all need to pray more for the civility of our humanity, man. You know, it's just like fucking mob rules kind of bullshit out there. But anyway, guys, I don't want to sit here and be philosophical. We're just going to be like Vice Grip Garage. We're going to pretend we never saw anything today. We're just going to pretend that, you know, everything's okay, and, you know, and including myself and all the other bozos on YouTube who got no life. You know, we're all here, you know, hey, check this out. Let's do a breakdown. And like, when is it ever going to be enough? Like, I think as a guitar player, you should know by now, especially by now, like, all these guys got to come up with something, because, you know, they're trying to blow up their YouTube channel through subscribe, you know, give me a thumbs up. I want to make some money doing this because I got no life. I got a job. You know, I got a job. Maybe when I fully retire, I'll be like these other clowns, you know. But I'm not. I think I'm done, man. I'm kind of like just riding the wave at 62. I may not even wake up tomorrow. I might die in my sleep, you know. I might meet the perfect woman in my dreams and never want to come back. So, But anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out, and thanks for all of you guys who subscribe to this channel. God bless you. Yeah, and just thanks for hanging out. Sometimes, you know, YouTube will send me an analysis of how many videos got watched and new subscribers, and I'm just kind of always a little impressed that I guess I'm able to make some sort of content for you guys. But I'm giving you the nitty gritty. Like, this is not about promoting this channel. This is just me being a senior citizen in my senior years, sharing with you something that, again, and I've tried to say, you just never know what you're going to find at your local guitar center. And I thought for sure, like, I was not going to like this guitar. I just didn't like. I don't even like the headstock all that much. I don't like the jelly bean. I was like, nah. But you know, I got nothing else to do. Let me hang out. Let me just. And I was there. Like, fuck, I couldn't put it down. I just kept playing it. I was playing it through one of those portables, the Spark 2 amp. Sounded really good out of there too. Well, this is a nice guitar, and I'm really happy that I got it now. Yeah, I'm really happy that I have this as a part of my collection. I don't see myself buying any more of these, not at $442. Nah, you know, I think Firefly is still like right in at the right price point, same type of quality. You know, their pickups, you know, give and take, but these pickups in here, no, these are really, really good. There will never be a need to want to change those out. So maybe that's the savings, because you're not really going to want to mess around with this guitar, you know. And it's got all the same features as this. Is a really nice neck. I don't know what they're talking about. It's more like it just feels good in my hands. One of the best necks, definitely in the Chinese imports. You know, just a solid player, guys. Honestly, that's all I got to say about it. Welcome to the Matrix. All right. Stay golden. Watch your ass, man. There's a lot of crazy people in the world. They don't give a rat's ass about anybody. We see that way too often. You can't even really speak your mind anymore. You know, it's like, you know, these crazy lunatics out there got nothing better to do. Somebody let them out. I don't know who, but somebody did. So we got to watch it, guys. All right. Stay cool. Stay safe. And we'll meet again. All right, take care.